Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. We are once again having a look at the suggestions past the developers for October 2025, and this time we're going to have a look at the rest of the ground vehicles that were passed. I'm also going to throw in the helicopter that was passed in this one, just because it fits a little bit better and basically just makes it all sorted. I always struggle to figure out where to put the helicopter stuff because there usually isn't enough to make it into its own video, so let's have a look at it in this one. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe and also like the video. Let's get started. The first vehicle is the Pansarvärnrobotbandvagn 452, which is a Swedish vehicle, and saying Swedish words is always interesting. The PBV 401, also known as the Pansarvärnrobotbandvagn 401, is a Swedish designation of the MTLB armored vehicle that has played a central role in the Swedish armed forces since its introduction in 1993, when 460 of them were purchased from Germany. Prior to entering service, the vehicles were refurbished and repainted to match Swedish requirements. It's designed to transport troops, be highly versatile in roles, and also provide protection against low-caliber weapons and shrapnel on the battlefield. The vehicle is powered by an 8-cylinder JAMZ 238W diesel engine, producing approximately 240 horsepower, which allows it to reach a top speed of around 60 km an hour on roads. The PBV 401 measures approximately 6.45 meters in length, 2.85 meters in width, and also 1.85 meters in height. In normal configuration, it's equipped with a 7.62mm PKT machine gun capable of providing light suppressing fire for advancing troops. With its robust construction and ability to traverse difficult terrains, including snow and mud, the PBV 401 has proven to be a versatile vehicle in many different operations. In 2011, Sweden sold the remaining units to Finland for €2.7 million, phasing the vehicle out of Swedish service. In the early 1990s, upon receipt of the PBV 401s, the Swedish military tested multiple different weapon systems on the chassis to increase its effectiveness. One such system incorporated a swivel-mounted anti-tank missile launcher, replacing the 7.62mm PKT machine gun turret. This missile launcher incorporated 3 RBS-56 Bill 1 anti-tank missiles that are top attack capable and of which can be fired in rapid succession. 6 additional missiles were also stored in the hull. The system was equipped with good optics and also night vision equipment. However, specifics are not available at this time. The RBS-56 Bill 1 missile itself is the world's first top attack missile that penetrates roughly approximately 550mm of RHA, utilizing a heat warhead. The charge is located in the back of the missile, detonating a stream of molten material at a 30-degree angle into the top of the target's turret or hull. Unlike the Bill 2, the Bill 1 only has one warhead and does not have tandem capability to penetrate ERA because of this. The system was highly promising and would receive the designation Pansarvärnrobotbandvagn 452 or PVR-BBV 452. However, only one prototype was made. Conflicting sources state it was in service with the Swedish Army until 2010, but no information is really provided. Unfortunately, there's not really much more information about the vehicle, which is kind of sad since it's a very interesting idea. The next edition would be for Israel, and this is the Vayzata, or the Toga. It's basically an armor add-on for the Macbeths, which is of course similar to the M113. The Vayzata is an armor add-on kit developed originally by Rafael, finishing development in 1977. It was reportedly developed as an answer to the original M113's tendency to get penetrated very easily by high-caliber machine gun fire and also RPGs, which the IDF started to face regularly since the 70s and presented a major concern for crew survivability. The armor kit was designed in such a way that both threats could be dealt with. So to deal with the threat of shaped charges such as RPGs, the kit was made to be installed on an outer frame, positioning the armor panels 250mm away from the original vehicle frame. This effectively gave it the characteristics of spaced armor, causing the enemy projectile to detonate further from the vehicle, which could sometimes outright prevent penetration. To deal with the high-caliber machine gun fire, the armor was made out of carbon steel. This meant that even though it was very thin, data on the exact thickness isn't available, but from pictures it looks like about 5mm at most. The armor was actually capable of withstanding up to 14.5mm of APDS bullets, allowing it to withstand most of the threats it would face regularly. The use of carbon steel also meant that the kit weighed only roughly 800 kilos, which did noticeably decrease the mobility but still made the vehicle functional for its intended purpose. The armor was also made to be user-friendly to the crew. It was made up of several plates hung on hinges, with a door installment at the front, which made the armor easy to install and allowed the crew to still have access to the parts of the vehicle covered by the armor. The Vayzata armor was reportedly applied to some IDF M113s as soon as the 1982 Lebanon War and was battle-proven under those circumstances and many low-intensity conflicts that followed. Crews that operated M113s with this armor would usually stuff the spaced parts of the armor with sandbags and also personal belongings in an attempt to further increase the vehicle's survivability. Unfortunately, there's no data on the application of this armor add-on on the Macbeth. However, there is sufficient proof that this was an option for the vehicle, and there are claims that several of them sported the add-on at some point. In fact, during Operation Defensive Shield in 2002, several Macbeths were used with the Stinger pod removed, and some of them were photographed equipped with Vayzata armor. This should come as no surprise since the Vayzata armor was made to be installed on the M113 chassis, which is the same chassis used by the Macbeth. For helicopters, we have the AW159 Wildcat, the HMA-2. The design and development of the AW159, which was originally known as the Future Lynx or Lynx Wildcat, began in the late 1990s as part of a plan to replace the Westland Lynx. In 2002, the UK Ministry of Defence launched the Surface Combatant Maritime Rotorcraft Programme for the Royal Navy and the Battlefield Light Utility Helicopter Programme, which is hilariously known as BLUR for the British Army. These were later merged into the Future Lynx Programme. On the 22nd of June 2006, Agusta-Westland, which is now Leonardo, was awarded a £1 billion contract to develop and build 70 helicopters, later renamed the AW159 Wildcat in 2009, which is the same time the first AW159 Wildcat was produced and also flown. The AH-1 variant entered service with the British Army in April of 2014 as a utility helicopter. This variant, the HMA-2, was first delivered to 825 Naval Air Squadron in October of 2014, before officially entering service with the Royal Navy in January of 2015 with 815 Naval Air Squadron. The AW159 Wildcat is operational on the Type 23 Duke-class frigates and Type 45 Daring-class destroyers. When it comes to the vehicle itself and what it can actually carry, this is one which is mainly designed, of course, for naval combat. It has access to a Browning pintle-mounted machine gun. It can also carry the Tails Martlet, which are lightweight multi-role missiles, and also the Sea Venom anti-ship missiles, along with the Stingray torpedo and also Mark 11 depth charges, something which we haven't seen in the game, but could be incredibly fun. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.